Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. I'm Judy Simpson. It's the first Thursday of the new year, and that means we're once again in the kitchen with Across the Fence. Joining me with some of their favorite recipes for 2018 are our chefs Carolyn Peak from Williamstown and Deb Plumley and Lynn Jarvis, both from South Hero. Before we look at all this food, we're going to take a moment to acknowledge some of our subscription viewers who've prepaid to be sure they get our recipes every month. And they include Mariette Metcalf from Irisburg and Ramona Partlow of Northfield. From Morrisville, Hoopie Lamphere and Edith Slayton of Jonesville. From Waterford, Sharon McMahon and Susan Evans over in Moores, New York. Instructions on how to become a subscription member are included in the recipe collections that are available by mail every month. Now, Deb, we're going to start the new year with you and some recipes from you and some from viewers.
Well, fabulous.
Okay.
And welcome to the first show of 2018. So in general, we're noticing some recipe trends that are focused on healthy eating, making more homemade and easy family meals and snacks for folks with busy families. So if that sounds like you, then we've definitely got some recipes for you folks today. So since breakfast is the most important meal of the day, let's start with that. I'm just going to tip this up a little bit. These gluten-free mini crustless quiche cups, wow, I got that out, takes just minutes to prepare and they bake up in no time. So they're a perfect make-ahead breakfast recipe for busy mornings. The easy way to do this is you take your greased muffin tin and you put chopped up pieces of your protein. I happen to use turkey sausage. You could use bacon or ham, and you put some shredded cheese in each muffin tin. And then you make your egg mixture, which are 8 eggs mixed with 6 tablespoons of powdered dry milk, some seasonings. I use salt and pepper and some Italian seasonings. And then you just pour this on top of the chopped sausage and cheese. Bake it for about 15 minutes. They're going to puff up and then they settle down a little bit as they cool. Just serve them as is. My family likes them topped with some salsa. You can also refrigerate these and just reheat them in the microwave for later. So that's a great way to start your day. Now, if you're looking for something that's hearty and meatless, how about this 3-cheese pasta bake? And you're going to get tons of compliments with this. It's got spinach, basil, and 3 types of cheese. It can't be beat. So you start by cooking your penne pasta. Just before it's done, throw in a handful of spinach leaves. Let that finish cooking, drain, and set aside. Then in that same pot, mix in diced tomatoes, your favorite pasta sauce, some herbs, and your 3 cheeses, which is some Neuchâtel, some shredded mozzarella, and some Parmesan. Put it in the oven and let it bake until it's heated through. I always save a little bit of cheese out and put it on the top just before it's done. And this would be a nice hearty meal for a cold winter day. Now, always talking about desserts here. And I'm always very happy when I can mix a natural sweetener into my desserts. These are called Honey Bear brownies, and they're just the right blend of white sugar and honey. They are brought to us by Heidi Dunlop of Jamaica, Vermont. So you've got your usual brownie ingredients of flour, butter, eggs, and white sugar, but you mix in some baking cocoa and honey. Now you could also add some chopped walnuts or some chocolate chips if you want to. You bake these in a 9x9 pan for about 30 minutes. The secret is to let them cool completely before you try to take them out of the pan. And I like this smaller recipe because sometimes when I make desserts, I don't need a full sheet pan. This 9x9 is just perfect. So thank you, Heidi, for sending this in to us today. Now, my last recipe is one for pulling out all the stops. And this is the best way I can think of to fight the winter blues. This is a fresh tangerine cake, and it's shared with us today by Elsie Williams of West Dover, Vermont. So this is a fabulous moist cake. It's enriched with sour cream. It's got flavors of tangerine juice, tangerine zest. I use the bundt pan, or you could use 2 layer pans if you want to. Once it has cooled, You take it out of the pan and frost with this luscious cream cheese frosting. And that again has flavors of the tropics with the tangerine juice and the tangerine zest. It's got the taste of the tropics, perfect to help you forget about a cold Vermont day. And thank you for Elsie Williams for sharing this. Now, Carolyn, I want to be the first to wish you happy birthday. Here you go.
Oh, good. It sounds delicious.
And it looks like you've got some great recipes to start off the new year.
I really do. So
well, great.
Thank you. Well, I'm going to start off with one of my viewer recipes. This is from Diane Belden of Rutland, and it is an apple pie dump cake. And that's right here on this tray. Very easy to make. You start off with a cake mix, and you take a can of apple pie filling, and it says to chop up the apples and real fine. And I didn't feel like getting my hands all sticky, so I got out my pastry blender. And I found if I put them in a bowl and then chopped it, they came out perfectly. So there's an idea for you. But anyway, then it's just eggs and oil and then some pecans. And this is really, really good. It makes a 9 by 13 pan, so you've got plenty of cake to share. My next one is, there's the crock pot. Ta-da! Hearty potato soup. Now, I think if I make, sometime when I make this, I might also throw in some like cooked ham or something like that. And I did not make it in the crock pot. I used the crock pot to keep it warm. And you might do that, or you might just cook it in the crock pot. But it has potatoes and carrots and onions and celery in it, and just makes a really nice warm soup for these cold winter days. Now, also for these cold winter days, and to go with the soup, I have some muffins. And these are apple pumpkin muffins. And they're really a nice, moist one. I put them into papers. They do come off, the papers come off fairly well, just, like a cupcake. But you could do it without the papers too. So there's a nice muffin with chopped up apples and pumpkin. They sound more like a fall recipe, don't they? But they're good in the winter. My next one is a chicken and Swiss stuffing bake. And it has broccoli and leftover chicken or turkey, as I have here. You mix a package of stuffing mix into it, some milk and some cream of mushroom soup. You heat it up, and again, a really nice meal. We had it for supper one night and really enjoyed it. Now my next one, have I gone through everybody already? My goodness, I'm going quickly today. This is another viewer recipe. This is from Priscilla Rossi of Eastbury, Vermont. And these are maple sticky buns. I've gone from the fall things to the spring things. You put the maple syrup in the bottom of your pan. You have a regular bread dough mix. You put the muffins down. You roll them up like a jelly roll, with the nuts and the brown sugar and butter in the middle, and then you put them into the pan, and the maple syrup just all bubbles up into it, and they are good. And even my husband agreed with that. He told me that I could make some more of those. And whenever he tells me I can make some more, I know it's time to use that. So there's...
Well, Happy New Year to you
Yes,
and Howard.
yes.
And a happy birthday.
Thank you.
I'm guessing you're 62.
You missed it by 5 years.
Oh,
67.
Which way? Okay.
67.
Well,
And 67 and proud of it. It took me 67 years to get here.
all
so.
right. Well, you're doing great. Thank you very much. And we want to wish a Happy New Year to all of you viewers. We appreciate your watching in the kitchen, and we hope you send us your recipes, because as you know, we like to use some of your favorite recipes here on the show. And I'm going to begin with a viewer recipe. It's from Virginia Lange, and she lives up in Sheldon, Vermont. And it's her slow cooker barbecued pork. And here it is. The boneless pork roast is cut into strips and is covered with chopped onions, brown sugar, mustard ketchup, and a little Worcestershire sauce. Now I'm going to put some of it here on this hamburger roll. And then once it's in the cooker, you cover it and cook for about 6 hours. I found was just about right. And we can't wait to sample this here at the studio today. And we wish all of you viewers at home could join us, because we would love to talk to you and meet you, and I'm sure you would enjoy this recipe. So now we're going to move on to something that Judy is going to really like, because you know she's a fan of deviled eggs. Well, this is my deviled egg macaroni salad. It's a favorite any time of year. Macaroni is mixed with mayonnaise, shredded cheddar, hard-boiled eggs, chopped sweet pickles, and crumpled bacon. Now, if you like deviled eggs, you're really going to like this. It makes up in almost no time. Just you have to boil your eggs, and then you mix everything together, and we can't wait to dig into this just as soon as the show is over. Now, to go with their meal, here's something that I enjoy. You regular viewers of In the Kitchen know that I'm a big fan of cornmeal, and this is my stuffed cornmeal muffins. They're so easy to make because you use a package of cornbread muffin mix, and to that you add pimento spread, sour cream, and crushed bacon. It's great for any get-together, and we shared one of these before the show and all agreed it is a winner. So I kind of thought maybe for the Champlain Valley Fair this fall, I will make a batch of these and see if I could win another ribbon, red, blue, or yellow. Any ribbon is fine with me. And now we're going to move on to desserts. And this recipe is from Sandy Giles. She used to live here in Burlington, but now she's moved to Colorado Springs, Colorado. And we both like cherries. And so I talked to her the other day, and she sent me this wonderful recipe. And here it is. It's just cherry pie cookies, and take a look at them. Easy to make with just 5 ingredients. First you make the dough and then roll it into little round balls. And then you put it on your cookie sheet and take your thumb and press an indentation in it, and then you spread the cherry filling right into that indentation. And when they're cool, top it with some white chocolate and let it cool, and you have a really good dessert. They're so light and flaky. I like them with a glass of milk. And here's my last dessert, and it's something a little bit different. It's my, stuck to the mat here, it's my blueberry pancake with maple frosting. Now, it's made with 3 cups of complete buttermilk mix. And then into that you put some water and your blueberries, as you see, and bake at 350 for about 20 minutes, and when cooled, you top with your maple cream frosting. And I especially like to use this as it's delicious, and it helps me get rid of some of those blueberries that I picked last summer that's taking up all the space in my freezer.
Nice.
So, and it's actually like eating a big pancake.
Yeah, it looks very moist.
It is.
Delicious.
And it has the pancake mix.
That's wonderful. There's some great recipes to ring in the new year. I know all of our viewers will be interested in getting them. And here's how you can do that. There are a couple of different ways, as always. You can go online to the Across the Fence website, go to uvm.edu/extension, and click on the link to Across the Fence. You'll find the recipes on the left-hand side of the web page. To get the recipes by mail, send $2 and a stamped self-addressed business-size envelope to 2018 Recipes, Box 188, South Hero, Vermont 05486. And please remember, if you're ordering the recipes, to include $2 and a stamped self-addressed envelope. That address again is 2018 Recipes, Box 188 in South Hero, and the zip code is 05486. Well, thanks to Lynn, Carolyn, and Deb for preparing all of these recipes for us today. They'll be back on Thursday, February 1st to highlight recipes with 5 ingredients or less. From all of us here at WCAX TV and Across the Fence, best wishes for a happy and healthy 2018.